Saturday, June 20th, 10:54 a.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. I'm going to discuss lithium. It's a commodity. It's a metal. It's a critical mineral used mostly in batteries, but has other usages too. The past few days, I've been posting, to my Patreon members, stock lists of lithium mining companies, lithium stock ETFs. So this video is going to go over the charts and some other deep insight. On the left is the watch list. Lithium mining companies. These are the symbols. So let's go look at the chart now. We'll look at the weekly chart. Five-year chart. Each candle's a week. Spells out the name, the stock symbol. Hopefully it's self-explanatory. 5-year chart. Here's the high, $334.55. There's a low, $49.43. Here's another one. Another one. And another one. So again, these are mining companies. The major ones I have here showing. Now let's go to mining in the battery companies. Think about it. What company do you know that uses batteries for vehicles? Okay, here's the watch list on the left. I'll pull up the charts. And again, notice the watch list on the left. The first one I showed you, everything was red, and this one is red. They all closed below their opening Friday. Got it? Again, let me go back here and show you. Just in case maybe one of you were not paying attention. You were looking on your phone at something else. So I'll pull up that watch list. Getting the mining red. So again, here we are, 5-year chart, each candle's a week. We're looking at the lithium battery, mining battery companies, ETFs. Again, ETF, exchange traded fund. ETF, similar to indexes, they often are invested in several different companies. Where I showed you the mining companies are just that, one company, strictly mining. So for here, for example, ETF, they may be invested in several mining companies. They may be invested in companies that are making the lithium batteries. They may be a stock ETF that combines the mining, the batteries combination. So look at this 5-year chart. Top left, the high, bottom right, the low. Here's another one. And another one. And another one. Again, not that many of them. So you see a big trading range they've been over the last few years? They're not at the all-time highs. They're not at the all-time lows. That's for both of them. Both watch lists I just showed you. I'll show you something further. More detail. Okay, that was all one time frame. 5-year weekly. Let's look at multiple time frames. First, we'll look at the alphabetical order, the mining companies. The far right, 1 year weekly. The middle, 3-month daily. And the far left, 30-minute daily, 1 day. So again, right off the far left, the bottom is the most recent press release regarding the industry sector. And the far left grid, the light is the pre-market, the dark are the regular trading hours. And again, the far left and the far right are the pre and extended sessions. Look, it closed down, bullish pin bar down here, below the opening of the day. Middle chart weekly, middle chart daily. Look at that big red candle on the daily Thursday, because Friday was a holiday. Big red candle, lower high, lower low, big wick on the bottom, filled the gap, buyer stepped in here. Again, look at the chart on the far left, the 30-minute, see the bullish pin bar. And then this high volume right here, bearish pin bar. Makes you want to pull your hair, right? Bullish pin bar, bearish pin bar. What's really occurring? And the far right, the weekly chart. For the week, inside candle simply means the high and low did not get taken out. Okay, this is a mining company. Let's go to the next one. Far right weekly, inside candle. Look at that huge spike volume down there, that 1 week. Off the highs, right there, bearish pin bar. And the daily, it did close down, higher, lower high, lower low, but close green for the day. And not much there. Okay, let's go to the other two. LAC. There we go. And look at the far right. Red. The middle, red. And look at the far left 30-minute chart. The most recent news was 08 this morning. And look at this last 30-minute green candle, regular trading hours, big green candle, big volume, extended hours here. Again, notice there was a lot of activity into the close of the day on the intraday. That's why I'm showing multiple time frames. And we'll take it to the last one here on the mining. So the far right, the weekly, it's in a consolidation phase. The middle, the daily, again, sold off. Lower high, lower low, filled the gap. Big wick on the bottom, huge volume. And the far left, 30-minute chart, big volume at the end of the day. Might have been buying or selling. And the most recent news. So, better insight. I want to show you the individual stock ETFs so you can compare them. So we'll put those as well on here. Get some good insight. There we go. First one, BAAT. Bottom left, the last news that came out on this was all the way back in March 4th. Wow. Look at the middle chart. Daily, lower highs, lower lows, dodgy candle. And these are stock ETFs now. Let's look at the next one, LIT. Far right, weekly, higher high, higher low. Did close red, but again, the trend reversed, higher high, higher low. The middle chart, daily, lower high, lower low, small little trading range. And look at the last news. They include the word SpaceX and the newswire, critical mineral. Is there a correlation? of lithium to SpaceX? Sure is. All right, let's go to the next. That was LIT. We'll go to this one. Did it detach that so I can see it better? Oh, ILT. I went out of order. I apologize. Yeah, this one I'll pull up now is ILT. There it is. Far right weekly chart, higher high, higher low, but closed red back inside that prior week. Look at the middle chart daily, again, lower low, lower high, small trading range. And the far left 30-minute chart, last news all the way back in March. Wow. And the last one, LITP. There we go. Yeah, look at the weekly. Big trading range, big pullback in this high that prior week. But the trend's still higher high, high low. Middle chart daily, lower low, lower high. And the 30-minute chart, news all the way back in April. So let's close this watch list. Put this back on the weekly lining. HP. Show you level 2. Got it. Level 2. Mining companies. First, go back to the mining. What's level 2? Level 2 is what all brokers offer for free. It's very basic. Again, the level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm going to show you just level 1. I have access to all 3. Not everybody gets access to all 3. So level 1 shows you the bid, ask, the last price, the volume. Again, the market's closed here. The stock symbol. Again, the stock symbol is Alpha, Lima, Bravo. 3 letters. Well, I want you to see this right here to the far right. This company, regardless of the stock symbol, the company is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. If you know anything about the stock exchanges, market exchanges, that's a broad word, market exchanges. There's prediction market exchanges, crypto market exchanges, futures market exchanges, insurance market exchanges, stock market exchanges. So this one particular stock market exchange is called the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, extremely prestigious, has much higher scrutiny on what companies they let on here. Did you hear that word? Scrutiny. So some history, if you don't know. The current leader of the executive branch of the United States, that's called the president, he had a company, it's called Trump, listed on the stock market. The stock market is very broad. He had it listed on the lower NASDAQ exchange. That's the requirements it met. Not too hard to get on that exchange. So you're going to see here in a moment. I'm going to explain more. Here's the next one. GN, E, and F. See the symbol here? OTC. Over-the-counter exchange. Very easy, if you meet the financial requirements of bookkeeping, to get on the stock market because there's lower qualifying stock exchanges. OTC is one of the lowest qualified ones. Yep. Again, a lot of companies market themselves that they're on the stock market. And a lot of people don't do the due diligence to verify what exchange it's on. OTC. You ever hear Wolf on Wall Street? Maybe not. So again, lower standards to get on this stock exchange. Why would you want to invest or even trade this stock? Well, again, you can look at the charts I showed you just to explain this. Here's another one, LAC. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. SQM. So look, the symbols here in the top left And I'm showing here this one, NYSE. Not all of them have options. Now let's go to those stock ETFs. Stock ETF batteries. So why I'm showing you this is big, well-established mutual funds, hedge funds, institutional funds, private investment funds. Many of them don't buy nor trade stocks that aren't certain stock exchanges because there's massive corruption, very little very little disclosure in their bookkeeping. Because again, different exchanges have different requirements, what they have to publicly show in their bookkeeping. So you have some companies that only do, investment companies that only do certain companies in the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. Again, here's one. Again, told you, this is the lithium battery ETF, NYSE. Now, some of these companies fail to maintain the requirements to stay on these exchanges, and they either go totally off the stock exchange or they go down to other exchanges that, again, they pay to play. Here's another one, NASDAQ. Again, here's the symbol. New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. So within NASDAQ, there's also different indexes. You ever hear the NASDAQ 100? You ever hear the NASDAQ Composite? Just to let you know. Now you know more than most people. So investing and trading, there is some homework you should consider doing before you use your hard-earned money into a financial product. Some more insight now. This is Yahoo Finance. On the left, I have the word profile. There's other websites that show this too, but I'm showing this because it's public free. The word profile. Here's the company name. Here's the stock symbol. I already showed you the chart of it. 30-minute, the daily, the weekly. I showed you the last news on it. Showed you what exchange is traded on. Well, this is more information or key executives, public information, but I could get the real-time information directly from the SEC website. Or here, some of this content is outdated. The top members, their salaries. Well, again, this is an American company I want to show you. It's an American company. The address, again, sector, basic materials, industry, specific chemicals. Again, just notice this in the United States, okay? Because show you some more insight to be concerned about. First, we're going to go to look at the battery ones I want to show you. Again, this is a stock ETF that invests in broadly several things. So, holdings. Now, this isn't real time. Again, SEC has real time. But just to show you here, this stock ETF, remember I told you, big company that makes batteries? Tesla. So again, this company owns 6% of this current index ETF is over 6% is Tesla. The point is, if you own the NASDAQ 100 or if you own Tesla, me personally, I want to come out and buy this stock ETF. Why would I want to get more of my financial earned income into something I already may be invested in? I'm not invested in Tesla, but I'm just giving you an example. It personally doesn't do me good, nor I don't believe you would be doing good in putting more money in the same company, even though you might say it's a fraction, it's heavily exposed to it. Yep. Freeport Mining, that's a big copper company. So again, this stock ETF is not all lithium. Part of it is companies. Look, remember that I told you this one? Oh, no, other one. So that's just one. Again, another one here. Look at the holdings. Now, iShares is a big company that manages many different stock ETFs. Again, the company's iShares, and this is one of their stock ETFs. Look at the top holdings. Again, see this right here? SQM, I showed you that's a mining company. You could buy that directly. So why would you want to go in this ETF? You can make your own stock index, individual ones. A lot of these are Chinese companies too, I think. That's concerning. Again, Chinese companies have a history of doing what? A lot of fraudulent bookkeeping, and they get listed on the lower stock exchanges for a reason. Let's look at the next one. Look, they're invested in Samsung, Panasonic, Tesla, LG. And let's look at one more here. LITP. See, they're also invested in several of the same companies. But again, letting you know that there's choices. You don't have to do the individual stock. You could do the stock ETF. Me personally, I'm not investing in none of these. Did you hear me? I'm not investing in none of these lithium stock ETFs, nor these lithium mining companies. They don't meet my money management style. I personally would go and invest in the commodity futures of the asset. So now let's go look at the mining companies again, just to show you this one, ALB. G, N, E, N, F. Company in China. Yep. And look at that. $7.31. Again, it's a Chinese company. Now, some stuff I showed you is going to be harder to see because, again, when they're on different exchanges, lower requirements. So you're not going to see all the content necessary or information here. Yeah. Look at the number of full-time employees. How many of them are slave laborers? How many Uyghurs? Let's look at the next one. Another mining company. Here's one in Canada. Canada does a lot of mining, gold, metal, silver, a lot of commodities. Yep. And one more. Okay, not all mining companies are listed on the markets. Many mining companies are listed in other countries' stock markets, but not the United States, because they don't want to disclose certain stuff, so they don't want to be on the U.S. exchanges. And here's one in Chile. Yep. So now some deeper insight, and then we'll be done here. This is a pie chart of I think it was 2025 I got this off, or 2024. Again, we can't use this year, 2024, because this year's not done yet. And I didn't find anybody with and this is a federal website. Again, this is from the official, one of the U.S. federal agencies. I showed my video I made yesterday on currencies about the Australian dollar. Briefly, what I mentioned again, I share so often which countries, their currencies, and how they have a big amount of impact on commodities. Canada, New Zealand, Australia, they're heavily commodity based in the metals and energy. Well, Australia is the largest mining company of lithium. The second biggest one is Chile in South America. The third one is China. Huge markets they have, majority. And then you see Argentina, Canada, Portugal, Brazil. So again, several of these, South America. And South America is a big commodity producer of lithium. China too, but China is investing in a lot of countries in South America. They want to gain market share with influence. What did I tell you lithium's used for? One of the big things it's used for is in batteries for computers, cars, many electronic devices. They want to control that market. Understand why the United States, past and present, is doing a lot of economic aid, military aid, and non-military aid to South American countries to buy their influence into those countries. Well, if we don't do it, China will. One country is a democracy, one is not. And again, there's a threat because as we develop into space, we have more use for this product. Would you really want to give the other side more access to it so they could dominate the market and make you subordinate to their, or as a serf to them? So this is from the United States Federal Reserve, the Dallas location one. There's several locations. Yeah, U.S. again does mining, but not as big as Australia. We don't have that much location for it. And the quality of it too. There's different locations, quality. Where do you think most of the United States mineral mining is? I know. It's in Nevada. Copper, silver, gold. So this is a map as recent, I believe, as 2024 of the United States, the high quality, the higher ends of the lithium. Again, right here in Nevada, the majority of it. But as demand grows, production grows, we already have relationships with other countries. I told you Canada has it too. Yep. Thank goodness we have some of it here. The cost to extract it from different countries and the rules and regulation are tight too. Yeah. So I'm going to put this on a comparison. Again, mining companies here. Do this one right here. LAC. To them. Actually, yeah, we do too. So LAC to the left. I'm about to show you in gold. Both commodities. The left is the mining company, LAC, and the right is gold. Let's do silver now on the right. Again, that was gold futures. Oops. Okay, here we are, silver futures. What's comparing them in? They're all commodities, they're all metals, they have different industrial use. Yep, even gold has industrial use. So I highly recommend, if you're going to be investing or trading, look at the one that has the best liquidity, the tightest spread, and again, the direction you're trading, look at the multiple time frames to make sure you're trading in the right direction. Thank you as always. Spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.